Hey Ledger, how's it going?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing pretty good, man. Glad to have you on. Welcome, Whale Coin Talk community. Ledger, before we get started, do you want to give a quick background of yourself, your origin story, your career trajectory, and how you ultimately made that jump into Web3?
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks so much for having me. I appreciate you inviting me up. I'm actually going to be in front of my desk on a better mic in about a minute or two, but I'm joining you remotely for the moment. My background is actually in the web space. I was a engineering major in college, self-taught web developer. Spent 10 years doing kind of professional web development, eventually running my own small business in the web development space. Always was excited about open source software and some of the commercial products that can be built on top of it. So then, even though I'd known about Bitcoin for a long time, I thought of it more as like internet cash. So I didn't get super excited about crypto until I learned about Ethereum and the programmability of an Ethereum blockchain. Unfortunately, I didn't learn that until it was ripping from like $10 to $100 after the Coinbase listing. I was a little late to the game. Um, but bought my first ETH in early 2017 and went deep down the rabbit hole, and digging in deep to the ecosystem. Everything changed again in 2020 when DeFi summer hit, and I realized that you could now do things on the blockchain that we'd been promised, and it was more than just centralized trading coins back and forth, but you actually could participate on chain, create financial products on chain, trade NFTs on chain, and that got me excited all over again in mid 2020. And that's eventually where I started building my own business, is realizing that there was cool stuff that we could do on top of that, and here we are.
Indeed, here we are. And perspective is interesting. I also bought my first ETH in 2017. And at the time, I felt like, oh, I missed it at $10. $100 is expensive. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of people that are looking at ETH at over 1,000 and wishing they bought it at 100. So who knows? Who knows what it'll be at next bull run? But even with the crazy crash, you're still up 10x on your investment had you gotten into ETH in 2017.
Yeah, I love when people troll us about, our precious cryptos going to zero and stuff. And I'm like, did you look at what this has done over the past few years? But that's okay. There's, some people are going to be skeptical the whole way. And I think the more important thing is that if you get in it for more than just the speculation and you start to understand, like, why is there speculation? And that's a good path to go down. If you're just in it to say, hey, I'm going to make a few bucks, I don't understand any of this, then you're most likely going to end up losing money in the long run.
Yeah, indeed. If you just zoom out, you can see that crypto market cap's been going up over the last 10 years. And if you're around last bear cycle, you can see that a lot of the sentiment, the bear sentiment, is very similar, although you can make arguments as to why it's different in a good or a bad way. But we're not here to do that. We're here to talk about Flip.xyz. And Ledger, before we jump into the nuts and bolts, can you give us an overview of what Flip is and what problems you guys are solving, what solutions you offer?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, are we there?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, copy.
Yellow.
Yo, I can hear you. Acty, can you hear me?
Yeah, but I can hear you both. I don't know.
I can
whether
hear.
you
I can hear you. I can hear y'all.
or...
I think it just had a temporary disconnect.
Yeah, no worries. Did you want me to repeat the question, Ledger?
Hey, can y'all hear me okay now?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
I think you're having issues hearing Noah. I don't know if you can hear Noah when he speaks.
Well,
I'm
I
not
was
sure
wondering
he's
if
hearing
you
me
might
either.
not
Hey
be
guys.
able to hear me. Hey. Ledger, can you hear either of us? Acti here. Let me drop off my account and then hop back on again.
Yeah, I don't know whether I think Ledger also disconnected right now, so just bear with us for a minute here, guys. We're getting the technical difficulties settled. Should be good soon.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on there, but hopefully Ledger can.
No, I think Ledger was having some connection issues because I could hear you fine, and it just seemed like he couldn't hear either of us.
Can y'all hear me all right now? Hello?
Hey, Ledger, welcome back.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think when I walked into my house, like all my home systems tried to pick up and it just rugged me instead.
Yeah, I know exactly how that is. Throw Bluetooth in the mix and it gets really messy. I've experienced that one too many times. But here,
yeah. Well, I'm very sorry about that. I didn't mean to disrupt the flow.
Oh, no, not at all. It's all good. We're right at the beginning. Give us an overview of what Flip is, and then we can jump into nuts and bolts of things as far as what solutions you're providing to different problems in the NFT space.
Yeah, absolutely. Flip is an NFT platform where we really want to aid people in the discovery process, the execution process, and then the tracking process. So that's kind of pre-purchase, actual purchase, and post-purchase activity. Everything from, following wallets that you're interested in, following the collections you're interested in, getting notifications about those things, to executing your trades, tracking your portfolio. You can even get a NFT tax report from Flip right now, which is really cool. If those of you looking to do your NFT taxes, and if you're at a complete loss, then Flip.xyz has a tool perfectly made for you. And it actually allows you to do like multi-wallet aggregation, transition your cost basis between those wallets. It's really cool. And that's really just utilizing tools that we had already built. So, and then putting them into a report that could be used for your that we've been able to work on.
Okay, very cool. So would it be fair to say that this is Zapper or Zerion or DBank, but for NFTs?
Yeah, certainly in the discovery and tracking perspective, but we're also, we have a lot available to you on the execution layer as well. So you can go sweep and, buy stuff. Right now we aggregate other order books. So we have OpenSea, LooksRare, and X2Y2, but we have a lot more coming on that front, including some more Flip native transaction opportunities as well. So, but yeah, it's a pretty good one-liner. Just missing a bit of the execution layer potential that Flip has.
Okay, awesome. So let's jump into the execution layer a bit more. You said that it has a lot available. One of the components that I'm understanding is that it's an NFT marketplace aggregator. So instead of having to go into OpenSea and other marketplaces, it kind of pulls everything in, it curates everything in into your proprietary DApp. Correct?
Yep, that's exactly right. Yeah. So if you're, shopping for Azukis or something, then you're going to be able to see what the Azuki order book is across the spectrum. And then, we've got a lot of cool stuff coming up where you'll be able to do more than just see public order books, but you'll actually be able to potentially manage those trades in a more private way on Flip as well. But yeah, right now it'd be, anything that's for sale on OpenSea, LooksRare, X2Y2, we'll make that available to you. And we're actually working to add a lot of order book partners as well.
And are there any other marketplaces you guys are currently working on integrating, maybe proprietary marketplaces that are on Polygon or Avalanche?
Yeah, so in terms of layer 2s and alternative layer 1s, not right now. When we do that, it'll probably be in a whitelisted manner, as in like we have a deal or a partnership with a specific collection. The problem that you run into on a lot of alternative chains is there's a lot of spam So we do a lot of work to, you know, digest this the entire landscape of Ethereum layer 1 collections. So on some of those chains, it's a little easier if we can just whitelist and say like, okay, we're doing, and this is not an active partnership, but I've met with Frank from DGods recently. So it's like if we support Polygon, we say we're actually, here's a whitelist for Utes, you know, so we can create a Utes market in that way. But it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to create like every Polygon NFT market, because there's so much spam and we do a lot of digestion of that data, and a lot of our infrastructure is our own. So our expansion to layer 2s and alternate layer 1s is probably going to be in kind of this curated format.
Got it. And it's as easy as connecting your wallet or connecting with Twitter, Apple, Google, or email. Yeah. I noticed that you guys don't have, and this is more of like a niche question that pertains to me and people that use Brave Wallet, but I noticed you guys don't have a Brave Wallet compatibility. Are there any plans on integrating that?
I love Brave, so that's more of an oversight than anything. I thought it was part of Wallet Connect, but I can make sure it happens. That's for sure. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Do you know if it?
Yeah. So
can you use Brave Wallet with Wallet Connect?
Yeah. No. So I usually on sites that don't have Brave Wallet listed, I usually just hit MetaMask, and it automatically goes through Brave Wallet. Yours is not with Wallet Connect. It here maybe it does. Let me actually try while I'm on the.
No. let's debug this in real life.
No, it doesn't actually. It doesn't. So that was one thing that I would just. Oh, you guys have Crossmint too. Cool. We have them coming on in like a couple hours.
Oh, nice. Well, consider it on the roadmap, man. We'll do it. This is the type of feedback that we love from users, and we're really proud of our login system actually, because you can actually get a seamless experience, because what happens is you're not logging in and these are independent accounts. When you log in to MetaMask with your hot wallet or a different cold wallet or Twitter or your email, we can sync all of those, and that way you get a seamless experience, whether you're on this, your laptop, your desktop, your phone, your mobile, your tablet. You can log in and you're already following the same stuff. So everything that you authenticate is going to be within the same account. So like I've got on my personal Flip, I've got 6 different wallets connected with variations of kind of public and private visibility on those. I've got Twitter and Google and my email all attached. So any of those that's the easiest to log in, you can use and have that seamless experience. And I don't think anybody else has really done that in the market.
Yeah, I certainly haven't seen it. And just kind of looking through each of your different tabs or each of the different components, I saw a feed section. Is that feed section?
Yeah.
Like, where's the content coming from?
Yeah, so that's actually based on which collections, wallets, and assets you follow. So if I actually follow a specific, Pudgy Penguin, it'll tell me when that Pudgy Penguin goes for sale. If you follow a collection, it'll say, hey, I've got one right now. Hashmask's volume is on the rise, up 75% in the last hour, and the floor is now 0.21 ETH. That's because I'm following Hashmasks. Or you can stalk your friends, wallets that or whatever. And the feed that's on your desktop is really like a broad set of your curated feed that goes straight to mobile. So you can curate exactly what you want to follow and what notifications you get. So if you follow Hashmask, for example, you can make it show up in your desktop feed, but you can also say, hey, send me mobile notifications of rare sales. So when you look at that little bell icon, you can click, you want something on your phone, or do you just want it on the desktop feed, and really curate exactly what you get notified for. And kind of create your own NFT experience based on exactly who you want to follow, what you want to follow.
Right on. And then just to clarify for people listening, I'm on the web app. I don't use phone apps very often for this stuff. So would you say, Ledger, would you say that the phone app is a bit more or the phone app has a few more features, like newer features than the web app, or are they about in the same level?
No, the web app's going to have always the most up-to-date features, and that's mostly because we just can't have a mobile first process because iOS doesn't allow you to do a bunch of stuff. So like if they don't approve the app or the update, then you could be sitting there for weeks waiting on them to do something, much less the execution side. Like they don't allow us to even put like a buy button on the mobile app. So the mobile app, I would really say, is better as a companion app, and the notifications and the feed and kind of the portfolio snapshot are where it shines the most. So, you want to wake up, look at your feed, see what's happened since the last time you checked your phone. So if you need that dopamine hit, like you get off of Twitter, maybe you can get that straight with NFTs by opening the Flip feed. But my favorite part of the mobile app is just getting notifications based on stuff I follow. So like I'll know, like, are my friends aping something new? And I literally get it like 2 seconds after it actually happens. And so the best way to kind of stalk your friends or profitable wallets or whatever is just get those notifications to your phone. But the web app is the most kind of up-to-date, feature-rich version of what we do. But we're not going to like send. I don't really like desktop notifications, and I think the notifications that are in your pocket are the most helpful.
Certainly agreed. And I'm imagining I'm imagining Flip being much more powerful with more people on board, more people using it, more people sharing notifications and profiles, and it's like a social network almost as the backbone. What are you guys trying to do as far as recruiting people from the NFT space or onboarding people from the NFT space? How are you marketing yourselves?
Yeah, I mean, we spent a long time building the product first, to be honest, and we're just kind of getting to the part where we say, hey, we think this thing's ready for people. And I think the product really can speak for itself in many ways. A lot of the features that we have are first class features, and there's other whole products that don't do it as well as we do for any of those specific features. And so we feel like we can replace a lot of the tools that people use that they try to bundle together. Like, you can succeed with NFTs if you just bundle these 8, 9, 10 tools all in one place. And we just want to make it as simple as possible for people to explore the market, discover the market, execute on the market, and then track what's going on. So in terms of like getting people to use it, the social component, I mean, obviously it works with more people. It works well with more people, but you don't have to have more people, because I don't need Keyboard Monkey to follow me back, right? Like I can follow what Keyboard Monkey's doing just on my a one-sided follow. It's not like a Facebook friend. Now there's some components, like for instance, if you were trying to negotiate a sale with someone, a private sale, where a two-sided conversation is super helpful. So some of our future stuff does rely more on those potential network effects of getting more people onboarded. And we certainly want as many people onboarded as possible, but you can get tons of value out of Flip right now just because you yourself try it and like it. And that's what I'd recommend everybody do.
And it's super easy. Go to Flip.xyz. I had a question, Ledger, and maybe I'm making a mistake here, but I noticed that you're not able to even search for wallets, contracts, NFTs unless you're signed in. Was that done on purpose?
Yeah. So what it does is, let me see, does it not allow you to search?
At least that's the experience I'm having. And if it was the case, then I guess I'd give you another piece of constructive criticism from an end user. I love, for example, with Zapper, I could just go in there. I don't have to log in. I don't have to sign anything with my wallet. I can.
Yeah, you don't have to log in to use the site or search, or like if you just go up to the search bar and type fluff or penguins or whatever, you don't have to do any of that. What you need to create an account for, and it's completely free, but that's where you get the curated experience of like actually being able to follow those things and get that extra level of information. That's where you can do it however you want. You can do it with just a social account or just a throwaway email or something, but that's going to kind of unlock those curated features for you. But yeah, you don't have to log in to use the site as a baseline.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming. And I've been trying to put in a couple of wallet addresses, and it says they can't find anything. Hey, Acti, do you want to give it a try and see if the problem is just on my end? But Flip.xyz and just plug in some.
Yeah, like if you just search ledgerstatus.eth or something, then like you can see my wallet. Now it probably is gonna make you sign in as you dig much deeper, but like you can see what collections I own. But if you go to like my activity, then it's not going to show that as much. But then if you go to my wallet, ledgerstatus.eth, search for that, and then you dig into Pudgy Penguins, it's going to show you the summary page and whatnot. So yeah, there's a good bit of information that's available without logging in. In fact, it's probably more information than the vast majority of other sites out there. And our justification for asking people to log in is, one, it's completely free, and then two, we enable you to do a lot more stuff when you are logged in.
Okay, right on. I'm gonna have Aki try that out and let me know, because I think I might have been having.
I'm sorry to butt in here, Noah, for a second. I've just tried it. I think it might be something on your end, Noah, because I can, search for collections, see everything come up and all of that. So maybe, I don't know, something to do with cash or something like that. It's working perfectly fine on my end.
Okay, right on. No, I mean, I can search for collections as well. I just searched for Neo Tokyo, big fan. But I was trying to plug in one of my wallet addresses, and nothing was coming up. Maybe you can try one of yours, but we can move on for now. I think this is a really cool idea, and I'd be, since you guys are so open to constructive feedback, I'd be happy to play around with it and DM you more of my constructive feedback in the future. Ledger, what is coming up that you're really excited about? What's in the pipeline that you
in crypto
can,
or for Flip?
No, for Flip. Yeah, I mean, actually, now that you mentioned it, let's do both. Yeah, you put yourself in the position. So let's go Flip first. What's coming down the pipeline that you're super excited about and that you can share with us? And also, what's coming for crypto that you're super excited about and you can share with us? And I was going to grab some audience questions as well. I know we have Sphinx on the panel, and I'll get to her in just a sec.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest thing right now that is freshly available, and we're testing it with a couple of well-known collections, is our royalties API. I know the royalties stuff is a pretty big topic of debate right now. We really come down on the side of creators, not necessarily to say like, oh, well, this is exactly what we think should happen, but to give them the tools to equip themselves. So the royalties API allows a creator to royalty gate their collection or get like a royalty score for a wallet, and basically determine, hey, is this wallet or is this asset topped off on royalties? If they paid a royalty, if they've paid a royalty, how much of a royalty have they paid? On average, across their assets, what royalty have they paid to this collection? Which is a way essentially to enable the equivalent of a buyer premium. Because even if you buy an asset off of a collection that does not offer royalties, because really that's a seller decision, not the buyer decision, then we have like a sample app, for example, where a Discord can say, hey, go top off your royalty on Flip. And then you'll essentially put the asset in good standing. And we're not telling a collection, hey, this is what your royalty should be. This is how you should enforce it. But we are excited to provide them the tools to be able to make the decisions that they want to make, rather than being beholden to the exchanges who are fighting their wars based on these fee models.
Hey, Sphinx, welcome to the panel. Welcome to the stage. The mic's yours.
Hey everyone, what's up, Noah? What's up, everyone? Yeah, I just wanted to confirm that you definitely can do a wallet search without signing in. I certainly have done it and have been reminded that my realized profits thus far are in the red. So thank you for that. Thank you for that, Ledger. No problem.
You can tax loss harvest it though.
Yeah, no problem. What's cool is then you can log in for additional features. I guess my question is, by the way, I think this is a really cool idea. My question is, like, when you go to the 1 year, 3 month, like 1 month, I don't see the data above changing, like the specs above. I'm not sure if that's supposed to change or if that's coming soon. But it's sort of like the graph changes, what you see in the graph changes, but not any of the numbers above. Does that make sense?
So if you're looking at like a sales scatter with a chart within a chart or something,
yeah,
Yeah, so if you're on like the sales scatter and you click 3 months or something, the little dots are going to change that bar so that it's just showing the last 3 months. And you can click any of those individual dots. So the data, it changes underneath. It's the graph that's underneath. So for people that aren't looking at it live, there's a charts tab within a collection, for example. So I'm looking at MFers right now. And so the sales scatter, you can look at a 12-hour chart or a 1 month, 3 month, 1 year, whatever. And then those dots are below it. But there's a sales scatter, a price history chart, a sales history density chart that looks a lot like the GitHub contribution thing, a floor depth chart, and a hodl time chart. Those are all within the charts section of a collection. I'm not sure which numbers aren't changing for you, but it's the data
I think I
below.
understand what I actually think I understand what you're saying. They're not supposed to change. So those things that you the scatter, the dots, the blue ones that change when you hit the 1 year, 3 month. When I put the cursor on them, it just says like one transaction, but you can't click them, right? You can't
For
like
the
click.
little, yeah, you're
Yeah,
looking
like
at the sales scatter chart, the top one.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If you click it, it should fly out the asset specifically that sale was for. So like when you hover over it, like I'm on the MFers one, it says
Yeah,
like
like it
MFer.
says. Yeah, it says 6 transactions, 1 transaction, but it doesn't come up. But anyway, I mean, I could ask you later, but this is really cool.
Yeah,
I
I'm
really
not
like it.
100% sure. We might be on completely different pages.
Yeah, no, but it's really cool. I've never seen it presented in this way. Like, you know, we've been talking about this in the with the Bitcoin ordinals. You know, all of these things are. It's always helpful to have another perspective, right? And each one of these sort of marketplaces kind of builds on the other. But so it's really cool because I've never seen this kind of layout, the wallet activity in this way. So that's really cool. Anyway, thank
you
you.
so much.
Yeah, thanks, Sphinx. Oh, by the way, I found out the mistake I was making, Ledger. I guess the wallet I was putting in has just one NFT, and the NFT isn't on any of the aggregated marketplaces, so it wasn't pulling. So I used another wallet, and it brought up my NFTs. And I love the the summary, the activity, the performance, all the different tabs, and all the different breakdowns you guys have. I think it's a really cool idea. I tried pulling in one of my friends. He's a founder of Layer. He has vast knowledge of NFT experience. Hopefully, he gets up on stage and is able to ask some good questions. Aisha, go for it.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks, Noah. So, where does the real-time data displayed on the platform, such as floor price, volume, velocity, and number of holders, come from? Is it sourced from Chainlink data feeds or from other providers?
They're actually all homegrown. So my co-founder Sam is in the audience, and he's the mastermind behind our massive amount of data ingestion. So yeah, we pull information directly off of node infrastructure that we manage, and then we siphon all this in, and we spend a crap load of energy making sure that it's as accurate as possible. So the floor in the summary stats is based on our own aggregated order books that we create, and then all of the sales history, data, volume, everything is homegrown Flip infrastructure. So we tried to keep our reliance on third-party partners at a minimum. We do use some partners for what I would call like self-healing activity. So if we do some spot checking and theirs is different than ours, then we can kind of check and see who's right and who's not right. But yeah, that's where we're getting the majority of that information. And in fact, when you talk about something like Chainlink, what we would like to do is be a data provider to oracles like Chainlink, because we actually are really proud of our information and data and think that we can probably help with that. So if anybody from any of those oracle providers wants another set of reliable information for their index, then holler at us. We'd be interested to talk.
Got it. Okay, given that the floor price of an NFT may not accurately reflect its fair market value, I was wondering, if Flip.xyz employs any machine learning algorithms to estimate the current fair value of NFTs on its platform. I'm asking this because some NFT aggregators are offering this feature.
Yeah, so we've done research in this space, and if you look at your portfolio inside Flip, we will aggregate everything that you have and show you a valuation, but it's based off of floor data for now. At the top, we say portfolio value is currently based on floor with valuation estimates coming for in 2023. And we've done a lot of comparisons. So, for example, we store trait by or floor by trait right now, but that's quite easy to make wrong or to trick. So, real flip estimated value is what we call that. Real estimated value calculations are going to include information that's beyond just like what's the floor by that trait, but it's going to be, historical trading velocity for a specific type of asset to create a smarter mechanism for valuing an asset. And what we would like to do there is just feel a little more confident that we're providing as accurate as information as possible. And we're not currently working with any other partners right now in terms of digesting their version of it, but we are keeping an eye on who else is out there in the market and how they're going about it. But yeah, it's probably a Q3 type of thing. I'd have to ask my team, but I'll Q3, Q4 before we really get a good version of flip estimated value. But it's very much on our roadmap because, I, for instance, have a lot of ENS domains where I think they're valuable, but that doesn't mean that Flip thinks they're valuable yet. But I want Flip to think they're valuable. So, as we can do some different analysis to say like, okay, well, this is a rare item or, unique in some way, then we can give it a better value in the longer term.
I have a question when it comes to the. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Aisha. I thought you were done.
No problem.
Sphinx, go for it.
The follow feature, is this like a wallet tracking feature?
Yeah, we can track wallets, collections, or assets. So it's any of the above. You can follow all of them. And then when you click a drop down from your little icon at the top right, there's a following tab, and then you can see all the things that you follow. If you just want to like check floors, and you can see that in grid or table view, whichever one makes you happy. And then your feed will be additionally made up of the information based on what you follow. And you can get mobile notifications about them as well. So yeah, following is really a core thing in Flip. It's probably the part of Flip that I use the most because I want to know, when my friends are buying or selling or listing, and you can really get extremely granular in what you follow. We don't want to bother you with mobile notifications, but we definitely want to provide you as much information as you're willing to consume.
Thank you. This is really cool. I really wish you guys luck.
Thank you so much. We can build our own luck just by y'all using it.
Hey, Nerdhead, what's going on, man? Oh, sorry, Aisha. Did you have any closing?
Yeah, I do have a last question.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Does Flip.xyz have any plans to include a feature that highlights the most underpriced NFTs across all tracked collections, which would help users identify potentially undervalued NFTs and make informed purchasing decisions?
Yeah, it's the type of thing that once we feel good about our flip estimated value, then we can say, let's use an example. So let's say the Sappy Seals floor is 1 ETH right now, but there's a rarer, a non-floor Sappy Seal that's listed for 1.5, and we actually think it might be worth 2 ETH. Then we can highlight a value purchase potential. We want to be really careful about that. Like, we're providing people a tool set, not a recommendation to buy or sell as a financial advisor. But we think that we can do some cool stuff based on the information that we consume. Another thing would be, hey, this Sappy Seal's listed at the floor for 1 ETH, but in fact, it's a rare seal. And some of that you can do now, but it'll get better in the future as you're able to actually see the estimated value in addition to just a rarity score. Right now we have a rarity score, so when you're looking around the floor, you can, just glance at the rarity and say, oh wow, this is, a top 200 item that's listed only 10% above the floor or something like that. But as you get those estimated values embedded into the platform and confident in them, then yeah, you can do all kinds of like value hunting stuff to do more there, and I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Got it. It makes it clear now. Thank you. Thank you so much for answering.
Thank you, Aisha. Hey, what's up, Nerdhead? The mic's yours, sir.
Hi, thank you. We are on a Polygon chain as a NFT project. So when you will be support Polygon chain, is there any plans for that? I think it has been, if it's not asked before.
Yeah, we're aiming to support EVM compatible chains in particular as soon as we can. We feel like we're getting really good at ETH layer 1, and we as we move to ETH layer 2s and EVM compatible layer 1s, we are probably going to approach it in a whitelisted manner so that we actually support specific collections. So if you'd like to be in that whitelist, if you're your collection would be interested in Flip being a presenter of that information, then shoot us a DM and we'd love to get you on that list of people that want us on Polygon. We want to go where the people are, and we also have to be able to utilize our resources as responsibly as we can. We're a pretty small team, so we're doing our best to get ETH layer 1 coverage, and as we move into additional chains, we'll probably do it in a curated way.
So what will be the requirement for being a whitelist? And second question is, what's the advantages of being listed in the Flip.xyz? And then, for example, there are other big marketplaces like OpenSea and others. So like advantages like zero fee, or what kind of advantages other?
Yeah, in terms of what you get with Flip, you get the same features on those layer 2s as you get on layer 1. In terms of fee structure, any homegrown fee structure for our own transactions would be pretty minimal. In terms of collection level fee, we actually want to support creators. So the biggest advantage that a creator would get is that if they're working with us, we're going to try to have a fair relationship with the creator directly, because we want to empower those creators to be able to earn some form of royalty if that's what they're seeking. So that would be the biggest advantage from us versus if you go to, say, an OpenSea, you're going to be subject to whatever wars OpenSea is fighting around fees and royalties and user adoption. And we will happily be the place where communities recommend their community members to shop in a way that actually supports the community itself as they shop there.
Okay, thank you very much. I will DM you if about the whitelist in a Polygon.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Nerdhead. Let's go with Captain Levi next.
All right. Thanks a lot, Noah. I must say, I've been, browsing the Flip.xyz sites. I just created an account myself. I must say, I think you guys are practically redefining NFT marketplaces as it were. I just have a few questions to ask regarding. I actually signed in through my Google account. I'm on your settings now, on the personal settings. How do you verify a Google user? Because I saw the enable email login and I can simply just create a password and all that. What happen? Does it after setting up my password? am I going to get like some kind of authentication method to verify that I am actually just the owner of this email, and like some kind of connect link or some other form of verification method?
Yeah, so we use Firebase on the Google authentication side. So it's essentially Firebase is a really secure platform in terms of making sure that that's a seamless cross account experience. And in terms of if you do email and password, that's going to be different than your Google login. So I don't even think you necessarily have to have the same email attached to your Google account as your email. However, we did pay a lot of attention to both security and privacy, and we also had the full front end of the website in addition to our smart contracts audited by Zelic. So we're confident in our security model and our privacy model there. If you have concerns, we absolutely want to hear it from you, and you can send us a message and we can look into whatever concern you may have. But yeah, we use Firebase on the back end, and we've got a robust security and auditing system to handle that as well.
Yeah, I think the fact that you actually just mentioned Firebase authentication, it's actually a nice layer of security that added to it. So I don't know, aside Firebase, are there plans to, add a little extra security won't hurt, don't you think? Are there plans to add any other additional proof of authentication methods?
Yeah, so like right now, if you sign into the wallet, for example, you have to both connect the wallet and then apply a signature. So it's a pretty tight level of authentication for the wallet side of things. For the social side of things, I believe the way works is that our settings for your social login are going to be as tight as whatever your own personal social restrictions are for connecting that app. Because I believe like if you do Twitter or something like that, you essentially have to manage it just as you would through that app itself, and we would be an authenticated app within your app settings that you could allow, reject, whatever.
That's quite awesome. Thanks for clearing that aspect up. Okay, so the next thing I wanted asking is that I can vividly see you actually made mention of a statement when answering Aisha's question that you'll be looking at people or projects that are similar to yours, and you'll be looking at what patterns they're using to create improvements on yourself. Are there any projects you're keeping an eye on? And or rather, I think that are there any improvements you've seen other projects do that you would love to implement on yours that you feel it would be better?
We keep an eye on the confirmation or the competition and the frenemy market pretty strongly, I guess. I think that I think Flip is a best-in-class application in many ways. We're probably our biggest critics ourselves. There are some apps out there. Like I think from a user experience perspective, we do a great job. And I think if I was to point to one from like an engineering perspective that I'm really impressed with what they do, it'd probably be Nansen. They've just got a lot of deep learning and data wrangling, and we've seen how difficult and expensive data wrangling is. So I think Nansen does a really good job, but it's more of a gated kind of logged in experience. In terms of others that you may classify as an aggregator, Blur is really fast. I don't think they really provide like a deep level of market information. And yeah, so I think it's just kind of serves a different user, just trying to trade at the floor as much as possible, more like a derivative than shopping experience. In terms of the discovery layer of NFTs, this is really where we focus a lot on, and I don't really know of places that have done a great job with that. So we hope we can win on the discovery layer and be really good on the execution and research layer, and that's enough for people to choose Flip. That said, yeah, I mean, I admire what people are building frequently in terms of just some of the really clever stuff that exists out there. So Yeah, I admire a lot of companies out there. I think one more that I might mention, and NFTs aren't really their primary focus, but like I think Zapper is pretty incredible from a DeFi tracking perspective. Like they just support protocols so quickly in terms of like all these complex staking mechanisms and all this stuff that can happen. I think Zapper's done a great job in that regard. I think Rainbow has a fantastic user interface and a mobile first interface that's really impressive. And a lot of these companies, they have an NFT component, even if it's not their like core business model. So yeah, there's a Venn diagram overlap in those of us that are working with kind of Web3 data.
Wow, that's actually quite a lot of like, examples. It's a good thing you're actually keeping an eye on all this, to make yourself better, to make Flip better rather. I think if there are a lot of brilliant minds out there, but for you to pay attention to all these intricate details shows that Flip those behind Flip, they are all geniuses of adaptability, and I must really commend you for that. I think that'll be all the questions on my end. Wish you guys the very best. I'll be playing around with it more, and I hope that the
Yeah,
Flip.xyz stays bullish moonward. Over to you, Noah.
thank you very much. And just as one adder to that, I mean, I am a very active NFT market participant. I'm an active trader, collector, community member, both NFTs and DeFi stuff. My number one requirement as we build Flip is that this needs to be so good that it's my primary tool that I want to use for my own NFT life. And if I can't build it in a way that satisfies myself, then how can I anticipate that it'll satisfy other people? So first and foremost, we're trying to build the best tool possible for those of us on our team who love NFTs, which is our entire team. And if we can do a great job there and then have these like one-on-one conversations that we really focus on, like we'll just, if you're an active Flip user and have feedback, we'll have a 30-minute call with you and just ask you, what do you love? What do you hate? What can we do better? And if it fits with our overall roadmap and direction, we're going to build it. I mean, we are not going to stop until we build the absolute best shopping experience possible for NFTs. So that's what we're doing. And we're certainly not going to be satisfied until we fully accomplish that, both in terms of what we've built and the fact that people know it. So we also need you to know it. And that's why I'm here today.
Awesome. I just gave you a follow and just gave Flip a follow with notifications turned on so that I'll stay well aware of any updates that you guys may have. Like I said, I wish you guys the very best, and I hope that Flip stays bullish moonward. Over to you, Noah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Levi. Clown Town, you're up, sir.
Don't say good morning. Just let him get on. Hey, how are you guys?
Good, thanks.
Hey, of course, as you can see, I have my own project. But I was looking at your website. You guys only do Ethereum at this point, right? And you guys, any plan for doing Solana in the future?
We love Solana. Got to figure out the way to make it work appropriately with our infrastructure, and that we're utilizing our small or limited resources in the best way possible. The likelihood is that we'll do EVM layer 2s first. But that's not to say that we're anti-Solana by any means. I'd love to do it all, man. If you could get me like $50 million, then we'll start that Solana roadmap immediately.
Trust me, if I had $50 million, I wouldn't be in this space at this point, right?
Yeah, we're just kind of limited by what we can commit resources to, but I'm actually really encouraged about the NFT market on Solana.
What do you mean? Aren't we all billionaires donating our time for the culture?
I don't know. I if I was a billionaire, I would I don't know what I'd be doing. I'd be self-funding Flip, that's for sure.
So another question I have: you guys going any plan to do a launch pad in the future, or is going to be just getting the collection onto their platform at this point?
Yeah, we've actually been talking about that internally. And I was talking to someone else in the ecosystem as well, and I think that it's probably, at least in kind of a 1+ year sense, I think it's going to be important to essentially onboard new market participants directly to your platform to have kind of a first-class experience with the platform. So I think a lot of places are going to attempt to be a launch pad of sorts. In terms of exactly how that takes shape for us, I'm not sure. And it's not anything that we're going to be building in the next, 3 to 6 months. But yeah, I think, onboarding new market participants is a really important component, because there's a lot of like amazing brands that they're like, we know about Web3, we want to do Web3, but how do we do Web3? And can you help us with that? So we want to be able to answer yes to that question.
I got you. I appreciate you answering my question. I will follow you guys. I'll look forward to see what you guys come up with, and hopefully Solana next, so I can jump on yours platform as well, because
Yeah.
I actually looked at the platform. Looks pretty cool.
Thank you so
Amazing
much.
job, guys.
Thank you, Clown Town. Next up, we have Rahmat.
Yeah, thank you, Noah. Okay, so you talked about mobile notifications. I was wondering, are users also able to receive notification when a new NFT connection that matches their interest is about to launch? And are users also able to track upcoming NFT drops, giveaways, and events related to particular NFTs?
Man, I would love to do that. The launches requires a calendar because it's not on chain. If it's on chain, then we can pick it up. We have certain stuff like, we track mints in our system. In fact, I think if you go to our just live feed of sales, you can see mints as they occur, whether or not we even show that collection yet. In terms of digesting the collection, that has to meet certain thresholds of certainly the mint itself, but then like secondary trading before we pull it on. We'll loosen that up over time to do better, but right now it helps prevent some spam. If it's a high attention collection, we're going to be paying attention to it, but we can always be doing better there. And that's more of a curated market that would love to be able to support really well. In the meantime, the best we can really do is once it hits the chain, we can identify it using our systems and then pull it in real time.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for answering. Over to you, Noah.
Yeah. And if you know any good like calendars, launch calendars, things like that, I would love to be put in touch.
Yeah.
To work with somebody like that.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Over to you, Noah.
Thank you, Rahmat. And last but not least, I think the Venice is going to close it out with the questions, and then I will wrap things up.
Okay, thank you so much, Noah. Okay, here's my question. It's basically like a suggestion, if it is possible, because as we all know about the power of open AI with the launch of ChatGPT, and Microsoft and other companies are investing in it. So I was wondering if it is possible to use the open AI algorithms for NLP, like if someone does not know specifically what kind of NFT he or she want to search, then they can just write few sentences explaining the NFT, and perhaps Flip can bring the NFT based on the description that user provided.
Yeah, it's kind of like a chat GPT for NFT type of concept. I think that'd be really cool. We do not have that right now. The onboarding process is a tricky one. We will certainly work to go mass market as the time is right. Right now, the vast majority of people participating in NFTs, their onboarding experience has already occurred somehow before they got to us. So we do make some assumptions right now, like you know what a wallet is, and maybe you already own an NFT or you have some Ethereum in that wallet. We do think it's going to be really important to answer those questions better for new users in the future. And I actually love the idea of kind of the smart recommendations where, you just know you want a lion, and, you can search on Flip for lion and see what pops up, see what collections come in. But I think there might be a way to do that better. And I'd be really interested to dig into that. But no, we don't have any like smart hunting for like keywords or something like that yet.
Okay, I understand that. And will you be providing any advertising services to the new NFT projects to promote their NFTs to a wider audience, like an exclusive advertising on your platform?
I'm not sure what the regulatory rules are around advertising an NFT project, but we're very interested in, partnerships or cross promotion or things like that, where if people want to send their audience to Flip, then we can, dig in and find out, hey, how'd you find us and why do you like us? And is it something, can we write a blog post about you or something like that? But right now, the primary discovery mechanisms are going to be based on like trading volume and things like that. I'd love to improve that over time to create that more curated experience that's not just about price and not just about volume, but it's actually about really good stories. We do want to do our best to present quality projects. So I'd be really interested in your ideas if you want to send me a message about how you think we can surface some of those quality projects.
Yeah, sure. And one last thing I'm curious to know about. Are you guys considering like adding some social features to your platform to enhance community participation and enable users to follow and entrust with each other, sharing their collections and discover new NFTs through their connection?
Yes, absolutely. You can actually link to items in your feed and share those on Twitter. We're really interested in some of the things you can do directly on a collection page to better connect with other people. But right now, one of the things you can do is going to go to top holders and see who actually also owns that collection that you might be interested in getting in touch with. But the social discovery layer is a really interesting space and one that we're digging into deeply. One thing that we have right now is a Discord bot. Any Discord, whether you're a trading community or you're a creator community, like a collection, you can actually install the Flip Discord bot. And if you DM us, it's still kind of in a closed beta. Then we can do some cool collaborations where you can present NFTs to your Discord audience in that way. But yeah.
Okay, that's really cool. And thank you. Thank you so much for answering all my questions.
Yeah, thank you. And no, I've got a pretty hard stop here in a minute, but if we have any final ones, I'd be happy to answer.
Nope, that's perfect timing. Audience members, community members, thank you for carrying the second half of that space. Ledger, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. I love seeing products like Flip coming out of the woodwork, and I'm really excited to see where you guys take this platform in 2023 and beyond. If you have any final words for our community members, our audience today, go ahead and share them now. Otherwise, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for being active participants and asking good questions and giving good feedback. If you want to give us any other feedback, you can DM us at Flip_xyz. My biggest ask is to use Flip. Go sign in with a wallet, check it out, and let us show you for ourselves that it's the best in class NFT app in the space. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Ledger. And thank you, Flip.xyz team. Thank you, Whale Coin Talk community. You're listening to another episode of The Aquarium. My name is Noah. Remember that everything you hear on this broadcast is meant for educational purposes only. Nothing is financial advice. We have another AMA coming up in 3 minutes, hosted by Glenn. So see you there. Bye-bye.